As we all mourn the passing of Larry King, an icon, a professional with an uncommon sense of honesty, integrity, and decency, a giant among journalists and communicators, let us remember him also as a science communicator, the middleman as such between the science professional and the common man. Welcome, friends. Dr. Jim Daly of Astronomy for Change here, your host, bringing you this tribute to iconic journalist, legendary communicator, and friend to all, Larry King. In this video, we will present memorable excerpts from interviews conducted over his 6-decade-long career, having interviewed over 60,000 guests, including many notable scientists and personalities who continue to shape and inform our understanding of the natural world and the universe above. The chosen interviews include Mr. King's longtime friend and fellow New Yorker, Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, astrophysicist with the American Museum of Natural History and the Frederick P. Rose director of the Hayden Planetarium in New York, the world-renowned theoretical physicist, the late Dr. Stephen Hawking, William Shatner of Star Trek fame, who played the legendary Captain Kirk, Dr. Seth Shostak, senior astronomer at the SETI Institute, a not-for-profit organization whose mission is to explore, understand, and explain the origin, nature, and prevalence of life in the universe. Bill Nye, the science guy with LeVar Burton, also of Star Trek fame, notable NASA scientists, and now retired astronaut Scott Kelly. To give Larry justice for a career that spanned over 6 decades with such a wealth of content specific to science to choose from, this will be the multi-part series. Without further ado, let us take a look at the long and illustrious career of Larry King, a friend to all and a friend to scientists.
Those who deny climate change, what do you say? What do you say to them?
In a free country, which at least we believe, we tell ourselves we live in a free country. I don't care what you believe. Believe whatever you want. The problem comes about is if you are in denial of an emergent scientific truth and you wield power over legislation. That's a recipe for disaster. The person on the street doesn't care about climate change or doesn't, maybe we'll have a conversation, but I'm not going to lose sleep over that. It's when someone, an elected official, stands in denial of climate change, something that scientists have been telling them now for decades, and they're going to create legislation in response to that. That is the end of an informed democracy. The end.
I love when they say, I don't know anything about it, but
it's not true.
I don't know anything but it's not true.
And so, by the way, I don't beat politicians over the head. You'll never see me arguing with a politician. You know why? Because politicians, representatives, senators, they are duly elected by a community of people, the electorate. So if they want to say the Earth is 6,000 years old, it's probably because their electorate thinks so. And so as an educator, my task is to educate the electorate so that they could then vote people into office who can make sensible legislative decisions that can affect us all and not derive from their personal, private belief system.
Hey guys, Larry here. Thanks for watching me. I'm amazed at the kind of people here. What an amazing and you got the Stephen Hawking medal. Now, I have interviewed Stephen 3 or 4 times. What did it mean to you to get that medal?
Well, so we're reminded that Stephen Hawking is not only a brilliant scientist, but he himself has committed so much of his life, time and effort to bringing the universe down to Earth. I guess we can start that time clock with A Brief History of Time, a runaway bestseller from back, I guess, was it the 80s or if not early 90s? And he's done TV shows, he's written multiple books.
With ALS.
With ALS, or whatever version he has that he can still live as long as he does. But obviously he's a quadriplegic. Right now he guides his communication through his eyes because he can still control what his eyes look at. There's a screen in front of him. And so it's just stunning that first he has the stamina for all that he creates and produces, but also to receive a medal in his name. I think the honor of any award
is established by the legacy of either who created it or others who have won it before you. And so I don't take this lightly. I take it as an affirmation that somebody was paying attention. He made major discoveries related to black holes. He basically brought black holes into a next generation of understanding. In fact, there's a kind of energy that emanates from a black hole that bears his name. It's called Hawking radiation. And we're in Norway. I guess they give the Peace Nobel Prize here, but the Nobel Prize, he's surely done enough work to get a Nobel Prize.
You would think.
Yeah, if he doesn't get one, I'd be disappointed. But you know what I think? I think he's transcended the Nobel Prize. Same with Einstein. If you talk about Einstein, he did this, the relativity. You don't then say, "Did you know he won a Nobel Prize?" That's like anticlimactic compared to what he actually accomplished at that level. So he may transcend all awards he could possibly be given.
What do you make of Mr. Musk and the others who are they're going to?
Oh, Elon!
They're going to send their own planes up.
It's rockets. Yeah. Right. I'm skeptical on a couple of levels. By the way, we need people thinking that way. He wants to send a mission to Mars. We need those people in society. Otherwise, the rest of us think that every other day should be like the previous one. So let me just lead with that. But I can tell you that the first people to do really expensive things where they're dangerous and people could die and there's no known return on investment, those are not business people. Those are governments. The first Europeans to the New World were not the Dutch East India Trading Company. It was Columbus, funded by Spain. Then he draws the maps, and here's the trade winds, and here's where the hostiles are and the friendlies are. Here's where you find the fruit that you can eat. Then you can make a business case for it. Otherwise, it's a really short meeting. If I say, hey, I'm going to go to Mars and bring in all your venture capitalists, and they start asking questions. How much does it cost? I don't know, but a lot. And is it dangerous? Yeah, people probably die. What's my return on investment? I have no idea, probably zero. That's a 5-minute meeting, and it doesn't happen. So somebody's got to go out there with the long view, the longer than the quarterly report view. And once the patents are awarded and you've established what's dangerous and what's safe, then you make the business case.
Hey guys, Larry here. Thanks for watching me. Be sure to check out some of my other favorite Larry King Now moments right here and tune in to new episodes Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays on demand on Aura TV and Hulu. Some little-known facts about you. Just throw them out, okay? A characteristic you value most in other people.
I like people who don't pretend they're something that they're not. So women who wear less makeup than average. People who are short but don't try to wear heels. People who are tall but don't cower in their height. I like people who are just honest about who and what they are.
Characteristic you value most in yourself.
I like, and I've worked hard at this, the ability to just speak something that is so fundamentally true that it's not subject to your opinion about what I just said. That gets
an absolute.
That gets right into the center of any conversation, and then I can walk out and let that be the it's not, well, you think that, but I think something else. Then why even have the conversation? Then there's an old saying: in the universe, there are the laws of physics, and everything else is opinion. So,
what's a guilty pleasure?
A guilty pleasure, I like writing with fountain pens that cost a little too much money, drinking a bottle of wine that was a little too expensive.
You're a Mont Blanc man?
I own some Mont Blancs, but no, if I had to pick a pen, it would be Pelican. If I had to reach blind for a pen, it would be my Pelicans.
And you still open and fill?
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course.
So you don't
the ink well, and you got to clean it and know thy pen, because many people who might use fountain pens don't, because they're afraid they'll leak on an airplane. Yeah. But if you know your pens and understand them, some have temperament.
So this ballpoint is trite.
I usually have to bathe after I use a ballpoint.
What's a weird talent you have?
A weird talent.
Well, you can tweet in 100.
There it is. I can tweet
I like carving something that's long into something that is short and having it have more meaning than it had previously.
Example.
No, just look at all the words that people put out and they think they're communicating and they're not. And so when I say carve, I mean literary carving. And so I don't have, I'm not a sculptor or anything.
Okay, I get
so
it.
yeah, you just, that's why haiku has such power. Because I think we are most influenced by that which is simple rather than that which is complex.
If you weren't a scientist, what would you be?
In a different life, in a different universe, I'd be a librettist for Broadway musicals. Yeah. I still tear up in the simplest boy meets girl, and the emotion is so overwhelming that they can no longer speak their feelings, they have to sing it.
Do you have a favorite space pun?
You don't
have to answer that.
Well, yeah, where are the asteroids? They're behind Uranus. It's like that's a musician. Can we get away with that?
Is there a musician your fans would be surprised you listen to?
I would say my musical tastes are diverse, but I'm a big fan of the blues and Buddy Guy.
Buddy Guy.
Just he sings, and then the guitar just is an extension of his emotion. It's not a human playing an instrument. Buddy Guy and the instrument are one. And if I'm listening to the blues on the radio, I got to pull over the car and hear out the song before I continue.
You have a role model?
I think the concept of role model is overrated, because what happens? You have a role model, and then the person messes up, or they get caught doing something, and then what, does your life collapse because your role model did something bad? So here's what you do. You assemble your role model a la carte. So when I was a kid, I found an educator whose talents I liked as educator. I found people who were moral, and I would follow them. And I found people who were great athletes, and I only honored the athletic part of their lives. I didn't care what else they did, or if they did drugs, but if they were good athletes, and I stapled this together, and that became my role model a la carte. Plus, if coming from the Bronx, I needed a black person who grew up where I grew up, who became an astrophysicist as my role model. I would have never become an astrophysicist. So if you're going to break into a new field or be the first of some kind to do something, a role model is the wrong way to go about it.
And tell me something no one knows about you.
Wow. It's hard to have something that no one knows when you become public, right? Yeah. I mean, that's, here's one that's just rare. People could figure this out, but I own more than 100 ties, each with a different and distinct cosmic theme on it. More than 100 ties. I can wear a different tie every time I ever wear a tie, never repeat.
The cosmic theme.
Cosmic theme. And when I'm not wearing the tie, it's, I try to, it's a little loud for the camera, so be a little more subdued next time. But that's not a weird secret about
family.
What's that? Yeah, married, 2 kids. Yeah.
What do they do? What are they, boy and a girl?
I have a daughter. Yeah, I have an older daughter who loves figure skating, competitive figure skating, but she's interested in Far Eastern diplomacy, and was teaching herself Japanese. And I knew she crossed over the day she came home with green tea ice cream and started eating chopsticks. I said, okay, that's gone.
And the boy?
Yeah, so he's in middle school, and he loves chess. I can't beat him anymore in chess. That's embarrassing. But he likes. Is he
interested in?
No, they have their own. I'm not trying to. I don't. They know it's there. It's for the taking if they need it and want it. But I don't. As my parents did not do for me, I don't want to tell them what to be interested in, because then their life's passion will be false. The only way you know it's real is if it gurgles up from within. And then you can take it, then you can become the world's expert in it, and people will be the path to your door, because you'll be doing it not because someone told you, not because someone offered you money, not for any other reason, but because it stimulated your deepest core curiosity about how this world works.
Thank you, Neil. Neil deGrasse Tyson. His new show, Cosmos, will be on Fox next spring, and on Twitter at Neil Tyson. In the meantime...
This is Dr. Jim Daly of Astronomy for Change. May you come to love the stars too fondly to be fearful of the night. The great philosopher Plato famously said, "Astronomy compels the soul to look upward and leads us from this world to another." Astronomy for Change is a non-profit organization whose mission is to effect positive change through astronomy and science education. It is our belief that by inspiring and empowering current and future generations to become interested and engaged in astronomy and science, this positive change will be realized. If you found this video helpful and educational, please like, subscribe, and share. Also, why not consider supporting us on Patreon? Head over to our homepage, astronomyforchange.org, click Support Us via PayPal or Patreon, and choose a membership level suitable for you. Every little bit helps us produce the great content and further our mission. Also, why not consider becoming a member? Choose the membership link here, click it, put your name and your first name and your email, and you'll be added to our list. You'll receive a comprehensive digest of all our videos and articles and all our great content. Joining and becoming a patron helps us grow and improve and more fully realize our mission. Thank you. This is Dr. Jim Daly for Astronomy for Change. Until the next video, please stay well and keep looking up.